This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo with a special update for our friends in the Bahamas. I do expect some significant weather to be moving into your area late Tuesday night and into our Wednesday morning. And this is kind of a new feature I'll be doing here at Meteo Mundo. When I see significant weather moving into areas of the Caribbean and the Bahamas, I'll come on and do some specific and special updates for those areas that I expect to see impactful weather. Of course, that's one of the great things about the digital weather space. We can do as much content as we want, and we can go live if we need to as well. Of course, we did that at the end of hurricane season last year. But again, if I expect impactful weather in the Caribbean and the Bahamas, look for these kinds of special updates. So for my friends in the Bahamas, this is for you. Let's get into it. Thank you for hitting the like button. On this Tuesday, we've had significant weather move through Florida. Areas of tornado watches, several tornado warnings. This squall line has produced torrential rainfall and extremely strong winds of 50 and 60 miles an hour, even outside of the tornado warnings. So recording this right around 8:30 on this Tuesday evening. That's the timestamp that you see right now. This is the live radar out of Miami. Still have tornado watches for Southeast Florida. That squall line is beginning to move offshore, and as it does so, it's going to be getting closer to the Northwest Bahamas, and you're going to start to see the impacts mainly after midnight. Now again, winds are still gusting 30 to close to 40 miles an hour. Freeport, well ahead of the storms last hour, had a wind gust of 35. I mentioned in the forecast video earlier today, gale warnings are in effect for the Bahamas. Extremely windy conditions, and the winds are only going to get stronger as these storms get closer. So again, they're going to be pulling offshore here shortly. There's going to be some rotation with the storms. A waterspout threat will be coming along with this to go along with extremely heavy rainfall, at least for a brief time, but a period of very excessive winds as well. So the main point of this video, if you will, is to just give you an update on the timing of those storms. You can see the satellite imagery here, the clouds rolling across the area. Let's get into the model data here. So I want to bring up the HER model. It's going to take me just 1 second to do that. And as I am pulling that up, thank you so much again for liking the video. If you have friends who live in the Bahamas and they think they would want this weather information, just share this video with them. We'd appreciate that as well. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the satellite data here. Let me see, just one more click and it goes off. Now we're going to be looking at that high resolution model. And again, I'm going to let it loop up, make sure that we have the complete loop, and it looks like it does so. And when it gets back, I'm going to stop it and we'll take this kind of hour by hour. The first thing I always like to see is what's happening now compared to what the model was showing. So if I go out to about 8:30, the model is pretty good at showing where the storms currently are. Again, this is not the live radar, this is the HER model, and it's pretty good. It might be slightly behind, but the timing looks to be right. The model is not too far ahead of where the actual storms are. The model is not too far behind. So I'm in agreement with the timing of the rain. So let's talk about when this is going to impact places like Walker's Key and Grand Bahama and Abaco. And then we'll talk about areas farther to the south in just a second. But these storms begin to move into your area just after midnight. Now they might be breaking apart a little bit, okay? But still, I would expect some areas of very heavy rain, some extreme wind coming with this. If these storms can stay lined up, we could see some 50 and 60 mile an hour wind gusts. Again, there's that water spout potential as well. This is 5 in the morning. You can see it right over Grand Bahama, headed to the northern sides of Abaco towards Marsh Harbor and areas to the north, and then working its way south and east as we go through the remainder of the morning. Now, as we get into Andros and New Providence and Eleuthera, the storm should be breaking apart a bit, okay? There's going to be some heavy rain in times. There's going to be some gusty winds. Again, that gale warning all the way through Wednesday morning, but just not that solid line of storms like Andros and Grand Bahama and Bimini and Walker's Key could see. So let's look at this one more time. Again, these storms moving through. Wee hours of the night. It's going to get noisy. I mean, look, the winds are already howling outside right now, I know, but they're going to even pick up more. Hopefully not lasting too long in one area, but still there could be some localized flooding with the heavier rain, and of course, some tidal issues as well when you're pushing that much wind into the area on areas of high tide. And again, Still could be some heavy rain towards Marsh Harbor, even around 10 a.m. So that's the timing of this. Again, these storms have had a history of producing many tornado warnings. This squall line has, so that water spout threat is going to be with our friends in the Bahamas. One more thing I do want to show you here, I want to look at the wind gust product. Take a look at this, guys. So anywhere you see red are wind gusts over 40 knots. There could be some wind gusts in the open Western Atlantic just off of Florida's coastline of over 50 knots, okay? Some extremely strong winds. So let me loop this up for us here real quick. Might take a second or two, but just to show you that coming in with these storms is going to be some wind, at least initially. So let me go back over to the beginning and you'll see that towards Walker's Key, we could have some wind gusts of over 40 miles an hour or 40 knots and over 30 knots in places like Freeport and West End and Marsh Harbor. The wind should not be as strong down towards Nassau, but again, it's still going to be a windy overnight and into Wednesday morning. It's just that the most extreme winds will be to areas to the north. So that's kind of the latest update, friends. I wanted to come on and let everyone know what I expect to be happening in the Bahamas, especially overnight, especially with that timing. Now, outside of these videos, we're across all of social media. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, Facebook, and of course you can email us as well. It's mymeteomundo@gmail.com. I'll take myself off the screen so you can see that. So again, just a real quick update with everyone. Wanted to let people know, our friends in the Bahamas, the weather I expect, very impactful weather with the wind and the rain. Let me know if you live in the Bahamas, what you're experiencing. Give me a like, give me a comment. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't as well. And I'll be back shortly with the latest forecasts across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, right here at Meteo Mundo.